mental health is a fringe thing that people don't really like to talk about, but it's so incredibly important. And I feel like with life, a lot of us just start feeling so hopeless and defeated, and to the point to where we forget that we have so much more power and control over all of it than we think.
Yeah, I agree.
For me personally, you guys know, like, I've been very open and honest about the fact that my life has been chaotic, to say the least. I feel like over the last couple of years, I've really gotten close with God and have learned how to control my emotions in a so much more healthy manner. But I have also fallen short over these last 2 years.
We always do. We all of us do. You know what I mean?
For sure. But
Can't be perfect about it.
well, it's also like not something that you just pick up on and learn overnight, right? Even though you know God and you believe what he says is true, right? He says you can worry for nothing and that he's got your back, basically.
Right.
And it's like we know that to be the truth, but it's so hard when you're in the moment to actually live that out,
Yeah, especially when your emotions are running high. I mean, even the chemicals in your body are flowing. Like, you know what I mean?
Constantly, especially as women, I swear, like, I feel like sometimes my emotions are so high and sometimes it doesn't even make sense why I'm feeling that way.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Jesus, right? Jesus was king of living in the moment. That is what he did on the daily. When he prayed, he didn't say, he would say, like, provide our bread today, not provide our bread tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very, very clear that, like, it is so incredibly important to live in the now, not to worry about yesterday, not to worry about things that you have no control over, your hard childhood. I know it took me a long time to heal from all of that. And it's like I've just now gotten to a place where I can look back on all of it and just be grateful for it and know that, like, it brought me to where I am today. Yeah. Had I not gone through all of those things, I wouldn't have this faith that I have right now, which is beautiful, and I wouldn't undo any of it,
Right. Yeah, and it shapes your personality, like.
It does. It shapes so much of who you are. But like for me personally, it helped me to see my life without God versus my life with God. And it was such a stark contrast, such a big difference that I couldn't ever go back, and I don't know if I feel like I have a very stubborn personality in a lot of ways.
And, welcome to the club.
Right. And I don't know that if I hadn't gone through all of those things that I would be so strong in my faith, because now it's like no one could convince me that God isn't real because I've seen him move in my own life.
Yeah.
With all of that being said, I've just now gotten to a point in my life to where when I think about those things, because I used to think about those things and it would like bring me a lot of pain for a very long time. And I would say over the last like year, that's really improved. Honestly, the last few months, it's just grown leaps and bounds.
Yeah. I've actually seen it for a few years. I would say like more so maybe in the last like year. But I mean, Sawyer's about to be 40. So almost 4 years now, I started seeing like a visible change.
It's your mind, your mind is such a powerful place, and we live in such a physical world, like a spiritual world. It's not so physical like people think it is. It's really not. Like, it's very spiritual.
Yeah.
On so many different levels.
He was the calm in the storm. He spoke affirmatively and authoritatively on all things. He is so good.
He sure did. And he made it very clear that, like, today is the day,
But you have to open your mind and heart to listening too.
You
right?
do.
Because he can be speaking authoritatively and everything, like, and he'd be screaming it at you.
He would.
But if you're not in the right mindset, not open to it,
to receiving it,
then and you have to, I think in order to be that way in a lot of ways, like mentally, it's like you said, you kind of have to shut out a lot of the noise and be in the moment.
You do.
Have time where there's like nothing even going on in your head, nothing going on around you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I know I posted a video about this, but in case some of you may have missed it, this just happened for me the other night. And this is why I'm talking about this week. And I truly feel like this is something that God put directly on my heart at the right time to share with you guys, because I don't feel like people acknowledge how much power that we have in
Yeah.
Jesus and over our minds and over our today.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband was telling me, and I know you and I talked about this as well, and you were telling me that you have experienced this feeling a lot in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
personally,
Mm-hmm.
with all the trauma I've had in my life, and I've trained myself to be an overthinker, to constantly be thinking about something, even if it's not bad. My mind is always going, right?
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, oh, well, tomorrow I got to do this. Tomorrow I got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Me too.
yesterday.
I don't know if that's partly because of like the ADD or not. Like, I don't know if most people are like that, but me too.
Yeah. And maybe that it might be a little bit of that,
Mm-hmm.
But my husband was telling me that you, like Jesus really, really said how important it was constantly to live for today, to look at the things around you and see the beauty in everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, when you take everything out of your mind, all of the stresses, all of the anxieties, you start seeing things so differently, right? And I've never experienced this. So my husband and I are on a date, we're eating dinner, and we're just hanging out. And he's telling me this, and I feel like he thought I was ignoring him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, because I'm sitting here, he's talking to me, and I'm just kind of like looking down. But he didn't realize I was actually thinking about how I could do this because I wanted to try it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard Christians say so many times, right? Like, you don't have to self-medicate. You can get high on life. Like, you have a life high, like you're just so high with happiness. It's like, it's very like mesmerizing, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm focusing on how to do it. And he's like, are you listening? And I'm like, yeah, hold on, I'm trying.
You're just like really trying to process what he's saying and
And I'm
physically.
like,
Yeah.
it was like the first time I guess I really listened because I've heard people
Yeah.
say it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be ready to hear it, right?
Mm-hmm. There's different levels of listening,
And I've been asking God to like help me grow in my faith and, realize the power that I have. And here we are. So I'm sitting there and we start talking again, and the lights look different. Like, they're so pretty. And
Yeah.
everything around me just seems like beautiful. And I'm like soaking it all in, soaking in the moment. And almost to the point where I'm like, did someone put something in my drink? Like, for a second, I'm
Yeah.
thinking that way.
Yeah.
And it was kind of shocking. And my husband was like, nope, that's it. You're feeling, you feel exactly what I was trying to tell you. And then I'm like explaining the feeling to him. And he's like, I've been trying to tell you, this is a real thing. And all of a sudden I'm like, it's like euphoric. Like, I am so like happy and at peace. And it was like a peace that surpassed all understanding,
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And it was the first time that I realized that feeling that Christians have been telling people about for a really long time, it's 100% real. And if I can do it with all that my life has been and is, then you can do it, because this is power and authority that was given to us by Jesus Christ. And he exercised this every single day of his life.
Yeah. A lot of people say that meditation does that for them. And if you think about it, like prayer, depending on how you're praying in that moment, like prayer can be meditation as well. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have those like prayer moments where you're like deep in it. And then sometimes you're just kind of casually talking,
And there's such a big difference, right? You are constantly trying to find a way to find happiness. And I think that is why people start self-medicating. That is how addictions start. I mean, it's all in my family, all of it. And I mean, even me, but, in my lifetime, and different things. And I think, you're just trying to find a way to feel better, not realizing that same feeling you get with these substances you can have without it, and it's wild to like come to that realization.
And addiction's not always like in drugs and alcohol either.
No,
right?
It's so many different things.
Like, I would say,
it
like,
could
off
be
the
your
top,
phone, even
like work for me.
Yeah, work.
Like over the years, I've learned not to be that way. And I always was like, well, it's because I love it. And I did love it. I did love my work, but I also love my work now. And I don't obsess over it.
And you know when to turn it off.
But I have to.
You know what?
For
I
sure.
never realized it, but I was like that in real estate.
Yeah.
I did so great.
Yeah.
And I worked so hard, and I got all the awards. I got all the recognition. But I was working so hard and so much. And I missed so much time with my kids working,
Yeah, me too.
And money. And it wasn't even about the money. It wasn't even,
Yeah, me neither.
maybe it was an escape without me realizing. And eventually I got really burnt out, which is what happens. And it's
You don't
just,
learn much when things are just easy.
you really
If
don't, right? You
if
ask
anything at all.
God to teach you and to
Yeah.
make you stronger. Well,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to do that in the way that
Mm-hmm.
we
And
don't.
some people need harder lessons than others.
Maybe I'm one of those people.
I'm one of those people, for sure. Interesting. So a stereogram is an image that contains a hidden 3D picture inside it that you can only see by training your eyes to focus differently.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But totally see what you're saying with that. Because, yes,
You have to train yourself
training
to,
your
to
mind,
see
training
this.
your
Yeah.
eyes.
The thing is, in our life, right? I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit or God enough credit in knowing that, like, He can handle all things.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went to that cross and did what he did for us, he didn't just do it to carry our sins. He was carrying the weight of everything, every
Yeah.
struggle, every pain. And he still carries all of it for us today, which is, I mean, it's a gift that we could never, ever repay.
Yeah. When you say don't give God enough credit, that makes me think about, well, what I was already kind of thinking about. It just kind of reaffirms it. So I think this, whatever, people might find this to be maybe controversial or something, but I don't think it's not just Christians. It's not just people who've actually like found Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior who can experience like those moments of like kind of euphoria and stuff. And the reason I think that is because even if you haven't accepted, Jesus as your Savior, you don't even believe in God. Okay. Like God is still in you and he is still acting in your life, and he will give you moments where
He'll show you a glimpse.
if your
open.
heart and soul is like just open to being in the moment and just enjoying like what life has to give and silencing like the world around you, you can still experience that. Now, maybe in a completely different way.
I don't even know
whenever
that
you find God.
I don't even know that it's different, right? Because I mean, maybe it is, but like also you're right. Like he still loves all of the people who actively reject him or reject the idea of him. And he still loves them, and he still tries to like give them glimpses of him in many different ways, right? Whether they perceive that as him or not, he is actively showing them, but until their hearts are ready to understand that that was him, it won't happen. But he truly does still work in and through those people, and he's waiting for them to come home in hopes that they will, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's just letting them know, like, I'm here. And then when they finally do submit to God or realize he's there, they'll realize that those moments, because they'll remember them because they were big moments.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like, he was there. And I mean, I know that you
Yeah.
have times in your life where you have,
especially my adult life. I have several where like I can remember them like the back of my hand, and I don't couldn't tell you any conversations going on outside of my like thoughts or anything, but I know exactly where I was in that moment, where my mind was, and I can go back there when I want to. And during that, like one of the biggest times actually, it wasn't that I didn't believe in God, but I wasn't real close to him. You know what I mean? But like he still like takes me and like shows me like the beauty of life, which is him. Whether I'm thinking about it in that moment, oh, this is God right now, he still gave me that moment. You know what I mean?
For sure. I, like you guys know, I've told y'all multiple times, I have always known God. Well, I've always loved God, but I haven't
believed
always,
there was a God.
but I don't feel like I've always known God, right? Like having a relationship with him. And my life could have ended up so much worse than it is. And my life is great because of God. I give all the glory to him for that. I really do. For the transformation in me. But I look back and I'm like, I see so many points in my life too.
Yeah, he was blessing you long before that.
He was always there. He always was there for me. And he was always actively working in me and through me in my life, protecting me from so many things. Daisha, she says, I'm so proud of you and your walk. Would love to give testimony someday for you. I would love that too. And if you ever wanted to come on here, that would be cool too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Daisha was like a mother figure to me. So you know Lainey, right?
Yeah. You've told me about her before, but the name didn't register. So but yeah, you've told me a little bit.
Lainey, I don't think she got her dress from you. She didn't come down for that, but
she was a bridesmaid or
no,
something.
she did come down.
She was a bridesmaid in your wedding?
She was actually my maid of honor.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely at least met her then, and then in alterations, I think too.
So Lainey was my best, and it still is, my best
childhood.
Yes, growing up. And there were so many times where I didn't have anyone at home to go home to.
Mm-hmm.
And God put Daisha in my life who fed
Yeah.
me and took care of me and always included me, took me on their trips and
Mm-hmm.
was like my mom too, you know? And
My husband has
that was an,
people that did the same. Like you and my husband, like her and my husband have some similarities to their like childhood in ways. And he also had some amazing friends, especially one in particular, his whole family, like who took him into. It's like when she tells me those stories, like I think back on my husband's too, and I'm like, yeah, you know.
and that's God putting people
Mm-hmm.
in your life. And, you know, Daisha, like she said, she's an imperfect person, but she, you know, she had struggles in her life and found God. And
Mm-hmm.
then he's actively using her to make a difference in my life, you
Yeah.
know. I spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I would have, but it's just like moments like that I
Yeah.
look back and I'm like, man, he always had my back
Mm-hmm.
though. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Above all, he calls us friend. Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He does. We are his best friends, you
Yeah.
know,
Child.
child, but
Mm-hmm.
like also friend,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I have a great relationship with my parents, so like they're like friends to me too. Now in high school, I definitely did not consider my dad a friend.
you're like, if
Not
you're
because he wasn't an
listening,
amazing dad, but me and my dad are just both very stubborn. And man, we butt heads whenever I was in high school. So he was still my friend. I probably didn't consider him one. But, you know, good parents like find a way to like kind of ride that line, which is a fine line. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. I mean, now that you're older, they're your friends
Mm-hmm.
more
Yeah.
more so than they
Yeah.
were. You know, you're getting that you're experiencing this firsthand,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and when you're both adults and you like both have had children, like, and
You
now that I
understand
have
them
a
in a
daughter,
different. You
it's
understand
like
them.
strengthened me and my mom's relationship because now like going to her for like advice on like a mother daughter thing, which I'm sure that's just only gonna get exponentially more as she gets older because she's only like about to be 3 kind of thing. So yeah, you know,
And she's a wild child.
yes, she's even more ornery and stubborn than I was at her age, but maybe she's just getting it out of her system.
Okay. Whatever you need to say.
If not, I'm totally fine with it. Like I'm ready
She's
for the
who
journey.
she's meant to be,
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, so there's so many different things that point to living in the now and how it's
Mm-hmm.
important in the Bible. And I wanted to share a few verses with you guys. So we have Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything. The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. And believing that truth, really believing it, because I thought I believed it before,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I experienced that feeling
Yeah.
for the first time, you
Yeah.
know? Really believing that will change your
Mm-hmm.
entire life because that is truth. If
Yeah.
you're looking for real truth on how to live every single day, that has to be those single-handedly some of the most important information I could ever give somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just now experienced it for the first time.
Yeah. Another like kind of example. So I think my son was like about 5 or 6 at the time, and the only reason I kind of think that is because I kind of can remember back to like things that were going on in our lives at the time. But it was like on I don't know Facebook or Instagram or something. But I saw this like kind of like reel, I guess, and it was like this mom, and it was her daughter, but the little girl was like maybe 3 or so, and I don't remember exactly what it said, but basically it was like taking the time to like their like 3-year-old like little brain, you know, is just like, you know, in the clouds and like they want to stop and like smell that little flower. They want to like pick at that little flower and not only just like sitting there and letting them do it, but like getting in that moment with them. And like no matter what else, you can even be in a hurry to get somewhere. Sometimes you just still got to like take that moment. And I remember when I saw that, I thought it had such an impact on me. And I thought, man, I wish I saw this 5 or 6 years ago.
Man,
You know?
I wish I would have when my kids were smaller too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've always been a pretty good mom, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
always been there, but I feel like I didn't take a lot of time to just sit there and enjoy them as much as I wish I would have now,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I was always going, always,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, 2 little kids. I had a 3-year-old and a newborn,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It was
Yeah.
and
They're
my
still young.
and my
You still got
3-year-old was
plenty of that. Yeah.
wild,
Mm-hmm.
wild, you know. And it was just a lot. It was always in fight or flight
Yeah.
mode. Gotta go, gotta go. Let's do
Yeah.
this, let's do that. And I'm like, man, I feel like I enjoyed their little babiness so much, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like now, what I know now, I wish I had known then. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't have regrets either.
Right. A lot of times grandparents say that. Like, you know, they
Oh,
have
true.
been through, you know, like having the kids and being busy and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, when they get older, it's like, man, I just wish I could just shrink them back to like 2 or 3 for a minute, you know? And so a lot of times they're a lot better at being like in the moment when they become grandparents. But when I saw that video, it was like, for whatever reason, you
It
know,
spoke to you.
yeah. And I was going through a lot at the time too. And And so, but has made such an impact, like putting the phone away, putting work away, putting like all other relationships away. Like yesterday, I took my little girl out in the front yard, and she's funny. She's like super detail oriented, and she likes to like pick apart things. And so we have these like, I don't know, little things off of our tree that have little like seeds or something on it. And so she was picking them off and like making about, she probably pulled off like 200 of these things. Okay. And instead of like just sitting there and even just watching her, because I'd already like left my phone aside, but instead of just like watching her, I like got in there with her and like picking them apart, and I'm pretending with her like, oh, these are the grapes we're going to feed to the snails and stuff. And like really in it with her. And the way she just like lit up,
Oh, she's like, she thinks this is
like,
cool
yeah,
too,
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool. And I feel like I've been trying to be more present with my boys too. I played Fortnite with my kids. They don't want to play as much anymore, but like I just finding common ground with them, things they enjoy, and just doing it with them, you know? God made things simple for us to receive from blessings from him by believing. Amen. He did. Faith. And I actually have a whole thing that God gave me today to talk about that. And it was Matthew 9. And I was living in the moment, asking for a word. And I feel like I definitely got my prayers answered. The world says seeing is believing. Jesus said, believe his words first and you will see. I totally believe that. I think he might give you a glimpse. And then you're like, okay, I believe.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start seeing, he'll start revealing things to you in a way that you never.
It's almost like once you start seeing it, your mind is like more open to it. So I believe like you start seeing more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you've like opened that doorway. And yes, maybe there's things in your life that could happen, whatever, where that door would maybe like be completely closed again. I don't even know. But like to me, it's like once you've opened that door, it's like always going to be cracked open for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just have to open it. When it says, Jesus says, I'm at the door and I'm knocking. He is.
Yeah.
He actually is constantly. And that, I mean, that's for the end of times, but like also he is in our normal life every day. He is at the door and he's knocking. He's just waiting for you to answer.
Yeah.
Because why? We have free will, but he wants you to actively want to choose him back. Bible is important, but it's not all you need.
No.
Like you need to read those words and also seek God and ask him to give you eyes through discernment, the Holy Spirit.
Trust in him more than you do even a book that says it's his word. You have to trust in him more than you trust in that.
Yes, because he will tell you all things. To circle back to like this control of our minds that we have, like it is an active war for our minds and our thoughts every single
even
day.
with ourselves.
With ourselves, but like also with the indoctrination that we have gone through, right? They purposefully make you question your reality. So that way you start questioning everything. And that's by design too. I mean, we're trained to be that way. And it's purposeful because if your mind is full of noise, then it makes it way harder to hear God and what he's trying to tell you to do. It's always a battle for your mind. And that goes back to living in the moment and drowning out all of that other stuff. So you can actually hear the Holy Spirit, you know?
Yeah.
What we were saying earlier about the kids thing. There was this video I saw earlier this week from one of my friends, and I don't know if she's on here or not. I kind of hope she is. And if she is, hi, Ashley. But Ashley posted a video earlier this week about her mother-in-law. She went to visit her mother-in-law. She and her husband have 4 kids, and they're all little. Oh, wow. And they're busy, man.
Yeah,
like they're all like a lot of them are in diapers. You know, like they're little kids.
Yeah.
And her mother-in-law works, and she has time to do laundry in peace, and she has time to watch her shows in peace.
Yeah.
And she goes over there.
You're saying the mom does or the mother-in-law?
The mother-in-law.
Okay.
So they went and visited her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law's talking about how she has all this time for, I get to wash my laundry and fold it in peace, and no one bothers me. And she's like, I really miss not being able to do those things.
I like love solidarity. And like I have to and thank God, like my husband understands that even more so, like as our relationship has went on, and he likes it too. He likes to go out and work on his wood alone, and so thankfully, like he gives me that time because it's something that I like my soul needs, and it's hard. It's hard when you're a mom and a wife, and you got a job and all these things, and you're a daughter and you're a sister, like it's hard. But I think it's really important, maybe more important to some people than others. I know some people don't really care to have much alone time. Totally get it. We're all different, right?
Right. Like I feel like I need alone time too. sometimes, for sure.
Right.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
do. Just time, like even at night, I just want to read my Bible and I'm like,
Decompress too.
decompress. I'll sit next to my husband and I'm like, you going to sleep soon?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah. He turns around and goes to bed. I'm like, it's just because that's like I get more now. Like my kids are in school. Like that was more so in summer, but like, I need that too. And I think everybody needs that. But like, I know at some point we're going to miss this time.
Right.
And like, it won't be so chaotic one day. And we're going to look back and just wish that those days were back.
So, with we were just talking about last week too, with like AI and everything, like information at our fingertips, you can research things so much more effectively, efficiently, quicker. So I think a lot of people are realizing things about the Bible that maybe they weren't like taught, and maybe like starting to doubt a lot of things. But hear me out. What if that is God's design to show us that our relationship with him is the most important thing?
Well, that's exactly what I was saying to you earlier. I was like, listen, you can have doubts and you can feel like maybe you don't know the full truth, but just give it to God.
But what if
God.
that's one reason AI and like everything, like what if that was supposed to happen at this point in time, getting AI and everything? What if he was wanting to show us some of that so that we would put more weight on our personal relationship than anything else?
I think that would be great timing.
Yeah, could you see that?
No, I do.
I'm like,
I do.
I just thought of that, but I'm like,
I think we have valued the Bible, churches, and surface level faith for so long more than we do a personal relationship with God without maybe even realizing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like I used to have a lot of fear and uncertainty in my life that does not exist anymore. I don't fear anything because I have God. I don't even fear death.
Yeah.
To circle back to like how powerful our mind is, because I have a lot of really good talking points on this today. So back to renewing our mind. Matthew 6:34, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. And then we go to Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. 2 Corinthians, it's over and over again in the Bible. 2 Corinthians 10:5, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Ephesians 6:12, this is one that I always quote. Our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of evil. And it's true. And if you don't have this solid connection where you can tune out all of that, you will absorb all of it.
Yeah.
And going back to taking every thought captive, I've talked about this before. So I actually read this book and I cannot remember what it's called now. Wow. I'll get back to y'all on that. I'll make a video about it. But in this book, it's like a physical imagination, like you imagine it, imagery. So think about like having a bad thought in your head, right? Some people are very like, they have to like see it in some way. And this actually worked for me a lot. Not in the way that it does now, because I feel like I've kind of bypassed this and I like I'm just more connected with God, so I don't need to do this as much. But like when you have a negative thought in your mind, think about physically reaching into your head and pulling it out and throwing it away.
Yeah.
Like imagine it. Just picture it in your head. And I swear it works.
Yeah.
It might take a few times, but seriously, because it's just like maybe even just like the fact that you stopped and thought about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But it's like think about pulling it out and throwing it away.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore, so you can't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It left that empty void and now you fill it with positivity. You know what I'm saying?
It does make such a difference. Like, sometimes I'll find myself, being mad about something, and sometimes I have a temper. So like I have to like sometimes certain things can really, really get me, and even in those moments, even if it's things that's like justifiably like we should be mad at, like people harming a child or something like that. It's like, it's difficult for me, but I still have to like sit and think like, I can't let this control me. Let me replace this with a positive spin on it. Whether that be like, what can I do to make the situation better? What can I do to speak about the situation better? What can I do to think about this and somehow, some kind of bring a silver lining to it,
For sure. And I think that's the way you have to
Mhm.
be. And then like there's just some things that are out of your control in general.
Yeah.
You know, like we've talked about something earlier that was just
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
right?
It's one of those things that
And it
really,
doesn't mean we don't feel
it's
for
hard
the
for me.
people that are going through hard things, and we don't maybe grieve with the people who grieve, because you know, even Jesus, right? So when Lazarus died, you know, his mother was crying, she was weeping, she was
Mhm.
hurt.
Mhm.
And Jesus already knew what he was going to do. He was going to bring him back.
Mm.
But he was living in the moment. And so he
Yeah.
wept with his mother, even though he knew. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
living in the now is amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, don't, that doesn't mean don't feel things. That doesn't mean shut yourself
Mhm.
off from
Mhm.
your emotional, like your emotional feelings
Mhm.
or other people's emotions. I
Yeah.
think you feel what they feel with them in the best
Mhm.
way that you can.
Yeah. And you can still speak out like on, justice for things that
Oh,
are evil.
we're called to
You can do that at the
speak
same
out against
time.
evil. We're called to do that.
I'd say maybe it's a harder like line there because sometimes like then your emotions can kind of take over.
But okay, to go back to what you said, leaving that door open a little more, and it
Mhm.
becomes like muscle memory. So, right, I
Yeah.
picked up my phone. I was like on TikTok again, watching a
Yeah.
video. And I'm like, I said I wasn't going to do this
The muscle
today.
memory of that, like going to your social like reels and stuff.
Trained
like,
behavior,
yeah.
trained behavior. You have to like retrain your mind. It's like
Mhm.
rewiring
Yeah.
everything in there.
Yeah.
And it takes time. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen right away.
Mhm.
I'm still going to mess up, even though
Yeah.
I feel like I've got it, right?
Yeah.
I'm still going to mess up.
Check yourself.
Check
Check
yourself
yourself.
and take a minute to just feel what you need to feel,
Mhm.
and then adjust maybe how you're feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like regain your self-control.
Yes.
Not letting other things like your phone or world events or whatever control you. That doesn't mean you don't care. That doesn't mean you don't speak about them. Try to make things like better in the world and our country and, local, whatever. But you don't let it control you.
No,
You
never.
know?
Like I said, feel, don't absorb.
Mm-hmm.
Feel, don't absorb.
Yeah.
Feel, release.
Yeah.
Feel, release. Because I do
Mhm.
think feelings are important. I think emotions are
Yeah.
important. I think they teach you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've always had like a real big like issue. Like my parents can speak on this. Like even when I was like feeling like somebody's trying to control me, is just like kind of like a fear of mine. Like I don't ever want to be controlled, And so in some ways it almost makes it easier because once I realize, okay, like I'm going to Instagram or whatever, like muscle memory. Like I wasn't even thinking about going there, but I'm doing it. And once I realize like this phone, this algorithm is controlling me, it's almost like easy for me to be like, screw that. Like no, is not going to control me,
I mean, I feel that way too, but like sometimes I still am like, oh, okay, 5 more minutes. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's
once I realize it's happening, it's easy for me to kick it. But sometimes it doesn't register. The more control it has over you, the less you notice it. Right?
But when you do notice it, you're just like, okay. But then you say,
Yeah.
okay, tomorrow I'm not going to be this way. But
Yeah.
it's like you have to rewire your brain because it is.
Mhm.
These were made to be attached to our hands and cause
Oh, yeah.
distraction, and it works.
Yeah.
It literally was designed for that purpose, and it works, y'all.
Yeah.
It literally serves its purpose
Yeah.
that it was originally created for. And a distraction also distracts you from God. Just the truth.
Mhm.
I would say, last night I got this new job, so all my time goes into making TikTok videos and my job now.
Mhm.
I don't have time to scroll Instagram. I don't have time
Yeah.
to scroll TikTok.
Right.
And I thought when I started this job that I would be stressed out because I would be so much busier, and I'm already busy, and I felt like I was already spread really thin.
Yeah.
But y'all, I feel a peace that I haven't felt in so long. And I think that's why I was able to tap in to
Yeah.
that euphoric life high type feeling,
Mhm. You don't have the time to doom scroll anymore.
No. And
Yeah.
I didn't even realize, because I thought, I don't even do it that much.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like the effect it was having on me. And it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
It was like God put this job in my life to like keep me a little more,
Yeah.
keep me a little busier. It's
Mhm.
like I'm doing things
They're productive.
all
Yeah.
day, and I
They're not
don't.
rotting your like
And I
soul.
didn't even realize it was like 2 days in, and I'm like, I haven't looked
Yeah,
at an
you told
Instagram
me.
video
Yeah.
in 2 days.
And I was busy those days because I'm like doing some of the training with her, and so I was busy those days too. And even then, like after work, like kind of planning for training. And I told her, I was like, yeah, me too, because I haven't had any time to doom scroll on anything, And I feel what you're feeling. Like I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, and then you came over and you're like, okay, I know you haven't been on Instagram, and he shows me this video, and I don't even want to go into detail about what it was.
Yeah, I don't
It
even
was just
remember
about something,
exactly, but yeah.
something going on in the world, and I'm like, see, instantly mad, instantly irritated, you know, and I'm like,
oh, sorry.
I'm like, no more.
Yeah.
But it was like instant, like that feeling that I hadn't felt in 2 days came back the moment I watched that video.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that happened to me this morning, like before work, and I had texted you about it too. Like I had seen this one video. I'd literally been on Instagram for like, that's the first post I saw, and
devil trying to get you today.
It's something like, God knows, like this is that issue is going to upset me more than anything, right? Like rage. And so I text her and I text my mom and was like, oh, I'm just so full of anger, you know? And then like, thankfully I had a busy day today anyway, but I was like, I'm not opening this app. I don't care if I'm on lunch break, going to the bathroom, whatever. I'm not opening it for the rest of the day, especially like knowing when we're going to do a podcast, especially if it has nothing to do with like politics or world events or whatever. I purposely like won't get on social media that day because it like takes me out of the mindset that I need to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, and today I did something different, which is why I think I got a very specific word today. I think I decided I was going to live in the moment. And when I prayed this time, I feel like my prayer is always like, God, just be with me, give me the words.
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to start soon. Like a little nervous. But this time, no. I took a whole hour, sat with God, read my Bible, asked him where he wanted me to read, and just lived in the moment, like lived in the now.
Yep.
And
I did that out in the car on my way here.
It makes a big difference, man.
There's this song I was telling her earlier, like, I've never been into like listening to Christian music much or whatever. Like there might have been a few songs like Mercy Me back in the day that I liked or whatever, but not a huge music person really, I guess in general. But on my Instagram, it knows that I'm like looking into the Bible and stuff. And so anyway, I get this like ad for this like actually pretty cool like Jesus like art. It was actually pretty cool. But the music that it had in the background was this like Christian song I hadn't heard before. And I was actually taking a bath with my like little bitty girl, and the song, like, just like, I literally like looked up, my little girl's playing with flowers. She's not even paying attention to me. And I like cry as I'm listening to the song. It like really moved me. And so then I like sent it to my son and was like, play this on your phone so I can Shazam it for all of you oldies like me. Cause I wanted to know what the song was. I wanted to listen to it again. And now I've been like listening to that song on repeat. And so on the way here, I listened to it the whole way. And then when I got here, I'm not focused on driving or anything anymore. I literally just sat in my car for that whole like 3 minutes or whatever it was. And just like, I'm like blaring it. And I'm thinking Emily might come out here and be like, Holly's like jamming in her car. She has no
I do it all the time.
Jamming to a Christian song.
I will be turning it up full blast.
Yeah.
And Josh will get in my car, and it's because I don't turn it back down because I'm just like that.
Yeah.
We get in the car and he's like, oh my.
too.
And I'm like, well, scared me too. Sorry.
I'm the same way.
We're going to read these comments in just a second, but I wanted to say something. I know that you guys have seen the growth in Holly and how quickly God's like working in her. It's actually kind of funny.
It is. I laugh about it all the time.
So a few weeks ago when I was talking about worship music, y'all remember she was like, it's not my thing. And I was like, you haven't heard the right song yet because it will touch you in a way.
I'm going to give it a try now that I'm in a different like mindset and different like journey
he'll
of my
give you
life.
the ones that will.
Yeah.
But it's like quickly. It's funny. Like every week you're a little more, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Yeah. But I love it. It's God, you know?
Yeah.
So from Stephen Forbes.
My daddy.
Yeah. Serenity prayer is so helpful for me in the area you are talking about. Not just saying the prayer, but trying to live it. I love that. Yeah. And he says, will you text it to Holly? And he says he couldn't figure out how to comment.
Her to text me the serenity prayer?
No,
I'm like, Daddy, you sent me that like a million times. I know that one.
I think he wanted to tell you that he tries to.
Oh, okay. He didn't know I can see it on here.
And he couldn't comment it. So Josh could put it. I agree. I think
my dad, he speaks on that verse all the time, you know, and I feel it too. Like, give me the serenity. The shorter version is God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so the longer version is living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking, as Jesus did, this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. I know my dad likes the longer version. He likes the whole of it, you know.
I love that. Does it speak to you differently now? a little bit?
This verse, actually, I have a good friend that I went to high school with, and she had her first child kind of young, and she named her daughter Serenity. And so I actually looked up the Serenity prayer then when she had her daughter. And even then, I wasn't at a time where I was like super close with God or anything. The prayer spoke to me then. And then my dad, of course, like, yeah, it is his like,
Oh, well, I
it's
think
his like guiding light. And I see every single
beautiful
part of this verse.
That is exactly,
And
actually,
that's exactly what we're talking
isn't that cool though? Your dad
Yeah.
sends that to you, and that's
Yeah.
our topic today, because that's literally the most perfect prayer.
about. These things have been happening with my parents like ever since, well, I mean, here and there before, but ever since like I like went on my like spiritual journey and everything, and they like knew about it, this has been happening to us all the time.
That's
Like it
how you
happened
know
to
it-
my mom on Saturday.
That's
Like,
how you know it's
yeah.
God. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he works everything out,
Mhm.
and he is in everything happens in the right time.
Yeah.
And it's like already planned out, because, like Josh was saying, time doesn't exist to
Yeah.
God. These are all things
Yeah.
that have already been done, been
Mhm.
spoken. So it's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
it really is so
that
cool.
and that happens to me like either with it happens to us too.
all the time.
And we're not making it up. Like she'll tell me something over the
And
phone.
she's like, well, I
and I'm
just
like,
was reading
I'm
into
texting
that.
you a picture right now of what
Because
I
you won't
wrote this
believe
morning
me.
because you won't believe this. It's like it's that verse or whatever. And so if it's not happening with her and it's happening with like my mom or my dad. And like I get at least one moment of that where like God is really showing me he's working at least once a week.
And that's amazing. He's just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Yeah.
And like, we get these signs and wonders and
Mhm.
confirmations.
Mhm.
There will be times where it's a little quiet. So I'm like,
Yeah.
don't get discouraged
For sure.
but like in the beginning of my journey, it was constant.
Mhm.
Constant.
Yeah.
Because he's like trying to keep you
Yeah.
on fire,
Uh-huh.
getting
Yeah,
you
yeah.
closer and closer. There will
Mhm.
be quiet moments.
And I'm more open to hearing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
my
yeah.
parents are more open to hearing it. You're more open to hearing it because you know the journey I'm going through. And so it's kind of like affecting like everybody like around me too. You know?
Right.
And it happens with my husband too. You know? Like it's wild. It's been like 3 months now.
If you
Every
listen,
week.
if
Every
you
week.
listen, you'll find him.
Yeah.
Every time, because
Yeah.
he's in your life too. Like,
Yeah.
even the people who don't know God
Mhm.
or don't actively choose him,
Mhm.
maybe they do. It's like he's
Mhm.
still in their life. He's still showing them things. He's still,
Mhm.
and even the people who are like, I can't hear God. Well, sometimes you just have to learn to like drown out all
Yeah.
the noise.
So I think a lot of people like pray, like, okay, God, I'm listening to you. Show me. It's like you might be listening in that little moment, but how quickly you forget, things going on with kids, work, whatever, relationships. And then it's like, are you really, how long are you actively listening?
So
All day?
go ahead.
Serenity prayer, that's my dad's, right? Like that's his jam. Okay. My mom's is the Lord's Prayer. My mom taught me and my brothers from when we were really young. It was like, if you don't memorize any other verse, memorize
Remember?
this verse.
Yeah.
When you're scared, pray this verse. When you're worried, pray this verse and pray it out loud when you can. And I don't know for my brothers, I'm sure it's probably the same, but for me, like that is always what I do when I'm scared, when I'm worried, stressed out beyond belief. And I always tell my mom, like, I mean, it really does some work in me. But that's my mom. That is my mom's verse. And like where she's just like,
it's the answer to
you
all
gotta-
things.
yeah,
It
you
really
gotta know
is. It
this
has a
one.
lot of everything.
and so
in
it's
it.
like my dad sent me that verse. And then that's the first verse on that. Like, it's the little things.
It is.
Where it's like, yeah, I'm listening.
But you know
I
what? If
got
you
you.
weren't living in the present moment, you might have missed that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so a lot of people, that's why people like worship music, right?
Mhm.
Because they feel like at that time, if you're really listening, it helps you
Focus in.
get
on
in
him.
the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the goal is to learn how to be present in the moment
I
with
understand that
just
now.
your
Yeah.
mind, right?
Mhm,
I'm just
mhm.
now coming. It was like
Yeah.
this epiphany. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that. And that's when I texted you. I was like, that's when I'm like, I know what I want to talk about on the next podcast. God put it on me, talking with my husband. I'm like, okay. Cause I was asking him, I'm like, tell me what to do next. Cause
Yeah.
I am,
And the week
I'm
before,
nothing.
he
I've
had put it
got
on
nothing.
me.
Yeah.
Where I
And
was like,
I'm
I
like-
knew what we needed. Yeah.
And I always pray that. I'm like, if I'm doing it with you or my friend
Yeah.
McKenna, I'm like,
Give it to one of us.
I'm like, please tell one of us
Yeah.
like what this needs to be about, because I don't want to just stick something
Yeah.
on. I know that when he gives me something, it's things that people need to hear.
Yeah.
And I want like every podcast for people to walk away with something important,
Yeah.
And like living in the moment. And the fact, like
Mhm.
he's like even said, like I said, your thoughts produce electromagnetic
Mhm.
fields that exist outside of your body.
Yeah.
He's saying everything has an atmosphere. Your
Mhm.
brain has an atmosphere.
Yeah.
You have to like learn to tune out certain
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
like your past, your hurts from your past.
Mhm.
Nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't live in
You
the
can't grieve it. You can't grieve the things that you went through anymore because there's nothing you can do to change it. And the only thing you have control over is the now.
Yeah. And you can have plans for the future while still living in the now.
Yes, you can. You can. It's not like saying don't care about your future.
Right.
I think you should care about your future.
For sure.
But
you can do both.
But you don't have, and I don't even think you should worry about that. Like, you shouldn't stress yourself out about it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Tomorrow's not here yet. All you can control is what you can control right now.
Yeah.
You know? And that doesn't mean you might not be preparing for something you need to do tomorrow. Like, I used yesterday to do some preparing for this. And I was still living in that present moment.
Yeah.
God, let me know what I need to be looking at here.
A lot of times, if you spend that time stressing, you really could have been doing even small things to help you get out of that situation or help get things more in line. You know, so if you're focusing on the emotion and not the here and now, what can I do?
Yeah, like for example, my husband and I were eating dinner really late. We have stuff to do the next day, lots of stuff. And he was like, the thing is, you can stress out all day about all the things you have to do tomorrow and about being tired, or you can sit here and soak in with what's going on right now and appreciate it and enjoy it and just live in the now. And
tomorrow will come.
Tomorrow will come. And you
worrying about it now isn't going to help.
Well, all you're doing is ruining now. It's
going to make,
you're ruining now.
And it's not most likely not help in the future either.
Yeah. Like it's a true life high. Like I said, it's a feeling that you achieve with God, with your mind, with the power and authority given to you, that people do substances. I don't even want to say the right word because, it'll get censored. People do substances to achieve because they don't know how to achieve it the other way. It is mind-blowing information. And it's just like once you experience it and you hear Christians talking about this, you hear them talking about it for so long. Like I've heard so many Christians saying this and I'm sitting here like, okay, sure. Yeah. Like I feel God. I'm happy. Sure. Like I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then it was like all of a sudden I felt it and I'm like, no way it was real the whole time. I'm like, no way, but it's so incredibly real. And your depression, your anxiety, your fear.
I know a lot of people
all
say
of it you have more power over
for those reasons too. Like either
they
dealing with their with their past or for depression or
I've
anxiety
been there. I know
all these things.
I know. I mean, I used to take antidepressants because I had really bad depression and anxiety that I didn't know how to control on my own.
Yeah.
And you know what I realized, and I'm not saying like I'm not a doctor. You take what you need,
saying, like,
do what you need to do. For me personally, I realized I did not need that stuff. All I was doing was delaying, delaying growing and learning how to deal with this on my own.
Yeah.
I was just delaying the process that I needed to go through because I was numbing it, right? Numbing it all.
Right.
And with all addictions, right? There's a reason you're doing what you're doing. Maybe you just like it. Maybe you just like that feeling. Which you can achieve on your own by soaking. Life is so good. It's so beautiful. And just to like sit back and look at like, how did we get here? This is so crazy. Just like being in awe of what is.
Yeah. Well, just think, so you experienced that for the first time a few days ago, right? Like last weekend or something, I think. That's your first time. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like once that door's like cracked open, it's easier to crack it open more and more and more, right?
It is.
Just think like if you're
muscle
able to
memory,
just
training your
stay
brain
in that and constantly like remind yourself of that for years or whatever. Just think how much greater that is going to be later when it's so easy for you to snap into it.
That's
and it's like so much easier for you to open up to it,
That's like people saying, right, like, how come, and I used to be like this too, how come she can hear God and I can't? How come they get to experience something that I don't? The thing is,
you're keeping yourself from it.
You're keeping yourself from it by keeping all the noise, the worries about tomorrow, the worries about yesterday.
Just don't realize it.
You just don't realize it. And then you're self-medicating. Whenever you're on a substance, I'm sorry, like you can't hear God. I know people pretend like I got high and I heard.
People say about ayahuasca or something. I know nothing about.
I don't know anything about that. But I'm like,
I don't even know.
The Bible says for over and over and over again to be sober-minded. There's a reason it says that. And if it was like, hey, do some drugs so you can hear me better. I feel like something else is speaking to them disguising
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm not
Like, you
saying
feel like you can achieve
I'm
that
not saying
without.
God might come in there and give them a little glimpse because their mind might be more sensitive and they wouldn't listen
Yeah,
before.
because
But
like you said, God can like
but
work in all kinds of
you
ways.
can't do those things
Mm-hmm.
and be like, okay, I'm gonna hear from God now.
Yeah, like you don't need that
Yeah.
to hear from God.
And
You
there's
may have to do some work on your own mind and body and
and there's a
spirit to
lot of
get there.
times it'll
But
block it out for you. Like it'll be a wall in
Yeah.
between you and God. You know, the
Yeah.
reason I stopped taking antidepressants was because and this was a couple years ago, I felt like there was a wall between me and God. Even though I loved him and I saw the work
Yeah.
in my life and I felt it, there was a wall that I could not explain.
like a fog or just like a
It
wall.
felt, I physically could see a wall.
Like a wall. Yeah. Yeah.
God's on
An
this side, I'm
actual
on this
barrier.
side, and
Yeah.
he's talking and I cannot hear him.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's that way. That's why we're called to be of sober mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you can't have a glass of wine sometimes. I'm not saying any of that.
Yeah.
But you can't live your life high or drunk or whatever and expect to be able to experience God on this very
Really
intimate
connect.
level. You can't connect.
Yeah.
You
It needs to be
know?
your actual soul, not your soul like influenced by the chemicals and stuff you're putting in your body, but like your actual just your soul
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
to
Like
connect.
you have to know how to open your mind without those
Mhm.
things.
Yeah. It's like I'm not saying like your soul can never connect with God when you're, on any drug or drinking or something. But I don't think I have not much experience in those things, but like I don't think, to me it makes sense that like you would ever be able to connect to God, that higher power, at the fullest potential if your soul is being influenced, driven, thoughts and emotions are being influenced, driven by something you've like taken to
Yeah.
affect it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know?
I agree. But I've never given mine in public, even though I've shared with all you kids in ways that I felt world would help at those times in your lives. I mean, you always had stories that helped us.
Mm.
I mean, she was the first adult I told that I was pregnant at 17.
Oh, really? Wow.
And she
Wow.
hugged me and
That's
made me feel
big.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one who made
Like
me.
not even a friend before then?
Huh? No. Well, Lainey was with me.
Okay.
She
yeah.
like left, went outside, and she comes back, and I'm pacing back and forth.
Wow.
And she's like, "No, what happened?" And I'm like, "Don't talk to me." I'm like, "Don't. This is bad. This is so bad." Like freaking out. And she goes, "Should I go tell mom?"
I bet you're so scared.
I was like, "Yes, go get her."
Yeah.
And so she went in there and like
Wow.
talked me through it. She forced me to tell my mom.
Yeah.
She's like, "You don't have to tell her right now. You have time."
Yeah.
3 months in, she's like, "Bro, if you don't tell her, I'm gonna have to." I was like, "Okay, I don't want you to tell her." She's like, "Enough's enough."
You know, when your kid is like going through something and brokenhearted, like I'm gonna tear up saying this, it like as a parent, it breaks you too. You know what I mean? And maybe other people have experienced that without having kids. For me personally, like
There's no pain like watching your kid.
I've always been an empathetic person, but I've never felt it like that much until it's like your own kid. But I think God like feels it like that too.
There's nothing harder than seeing your child go through something that you have no control to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Really, those feelings, they have to work through it themselves.
Or sometimes maybe you've been the one that's caused them it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just have to heal, and all you can do is be there and give them the tools to heal and let them know you're there and you love them, and that's exactly what God does.
And feel it with them. I think they can feel it when you like feel it with them, and like
they're not alone, right?
That heals a little part of their soul.
And that goes with like being present in the moment, feeling the feelings that you need to feel, and just giving it to God and just trusting Him to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And then that doesn't always mean like regret or guilt or whatever. You know, it's like living in the now and what you can do now to make things better. You know, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, for sure.
It really does. What can I do now to change things? Because I can't go back and change things.
How can I be better there for them right now? And then how can I do better going forward?
Yes.
And making a conscious effort to keep thinking about that and not just think about it in the moment when it's happening and their heart's breaking and your heart's breaking with them too, but continuing to like think about like how can I be there more for them? How can I help them through what they're going through?
One day at a time.
Yeah. How can I be an ear to listen to them?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like one day at a time. And sometimes that's also like saying, God, like, how can I be better?
Yeah.
How, like, what do I need to do to be better?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you can help in this
Yeah.
situation. Like, giving it, giving it to
Yeah.
God and knowing that, like, He feels what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That feeling you get when you watch your child hurt themselves. I mean, when my babies were getting shots when they were little and they
Mm-hmm.
would turn purple and scream
And just look
and
at
they
you like,
didn't,
help me.
it was
Oh,
like,
it's
I
hard.
cried every
Those are
time.
hard. Yeah.
I cried every time,
Yeah.
and it's like, it hurts.
Yeah.
And that's how He feels too,
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to like know that He feels that. And that also goes with like having that relationship,
Yeah.
really knowing
Yeah.
Him.
You know what? I said earlier, like, I don't know if you can experience that without kids. A good example. My little brother's about like 8 years younger than me. And, he had some pretty like serious birth defects. When he was born, he had like, um, 2 bladders, 4 kidneys, and of course, his little tiny body like couldn't fit all that, and they were deformed and whatnot. So anyway, he had to have a few surgeries when he was really, really little, and we went to Cook Children's Hospital, which phenomenal hospital, by the way.
Liberty, Daisha's daughter, went to Cook's.
Really, yeah,
We spent a
they'll
lot of
always
time
have a
there.
special place in my heart. But anyway, and so I was like 9. Probably, yeah, like 9.5 at the time. And they were going to go in and do, I don't remember like if it was like an x-ray or what it was. But anyway, he wouldn't be still. He's little, like under 2. And they had to like weigh him down with
Oh
sandbags.
no.
And the thing is, it's like he was tiny, but like he was strong and he was mad and he did not want to be held down. So then the doctors even the nurses had to go and like physically hold him down. And I remember the pain I like felt in that moment, like for him was
It was
just
terrible.
so great. And so I think, so I correct myself. It's not something that you have to be a parent to experience. I think it's when you love someone that hard,
Yeah. Yeah.
and sometimes even a stranger, if you're empathetic enough, like to see somebody go through something really difficult.
It
If
should.
our soul is
Oh,
where it should be,
there's
it should really
there's
hurt.
times I watch people on TikTok, getting on there crying, telling a story, and I'm like in
Mhm.
tears too. And I'm like, when? I mean, I've always been a crybaby. Don't let me pretend. Like, when did I become this way? No, I've always been this way, but more so now because I feel like I feel what I feel with them.
I'm more
'Cause I'm just like,
emotional now.
man, there's
Yeah.
because God takes your heart of stone and gives
Yeah.
you a heart of flesh, a soft
Uh-huh.
heart,
Yeah.
and that's real.
Yeah.
You can't change the past, so why hang on onto it for? The
Mhm.
future has endless possibilities when you believe and you trust. Amen. Like,
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless
Mm-hmm.
and nothing is too
Yeah.
big for God. Nothing. You can really and truly achieve whatever you put your mind to if you include
Mhm.
God in your plans.
Yeah.
Truly, it's true.
Yeah. Maybe that's not his plan.
And
You know what I mean?
but he'll
And
put you in the right
yeah,
direction
may
and give
not
you
find that if you're not listening. Like, like.
he'll put something, like, he'll put things meant for you, the big things, because he has plans for all of us.
Mhm.
And he'll put it on your heart when you're in
Got you.
tune with him, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna really want it, right? That's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
become your dream,
Well,
God's
you're
plan
you're
for
gonna know
you.
it's where you're supposed to be.
It's your purpose,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another thing. Being in tune with God shows you your true purpose. It
Mhm.
really does. Like, people feel like they
Mhm.
don't know their spot or place in this
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
but we all have one.
Mm-hmm.
All of us. Like, we
Yeah.
were not born purposeless. Like, never were.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we kind of talked about training your mind,
Mm-hmm.
so last week we talked about something really interesting.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked about how, well, we talked about a bunch of things, but one thing specifically that we talked about, your brain, this is scientifically proven, runs on electrical
Like a
currents,
electrical
right?
circuit. Yeah.
And every time you have a thought, it now exists outside of your body. Everything exists outside of your
Mhm.
body, and it exists forever, right? I said about that hard drive, the more you put on a hard drive, the more weight it has. 100%
Just
true.
wild, y'all. Like, that's
Right.
facts.
So it is
That's
facts.
crazy.
And
Information has weight. Thoughts
Right.
have actual, like, physical weight.
so all of your negative thoughts that you've ever had, all the bad things that happen to you exist in the atmosphere, like he was talking about
Mhm.
atmosphere,
Mhm.
around you, right?
Yeah.
And that is your personal frequency that you've experienced a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you personally have the power to change your inner frequency,
Mm-hmm. Which changes your outer,
which changes your outer.
which affects other people differently.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they might exist around you and they can linger around you.
Mm-hmm.
But
This
you
is why people say, like, I just like their energy.
Yes, you can
it
feel
affects
it.
me when I'm, like, around them,
You can feel it,
Yeah.
right? So these thoughts linger around you. And it's your frequency that you've already experienced. So it's really easy to tap back into it and pull them back in.
Yeah.
They're always around you. But you have the power to live in the present and say, like, it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter what worries I have. And you can change your own frequency to tune those out. I've told you guys about this dream. I just talked about this with you. I think God has been giving me bits and pieces of things for this moment, which he always does.
Yeah.
He always does. So I was talking about the Bledsoes a few podcasts back.
You mentioned it, but yeah.
And I told y'all I got sleep paralysis again, which I have been delivered from. I haven't had that in a long time, but I did this day.
I haven't had a long time either.
So I'm going to tell you all the story again, just to give you an idea. And it was when I learned I could tune something out frequency-wise, but it didn't dawn on me when or how I would need it and how deep it went until this weekend. So, well, even last week's podcast was like setting up for this too.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm laying in bed. I have sleep paralysis and I'm like, oh no. So, well, first I see this smoke in my eyes, and smoke in the Bible actually represents a lot of the times God's presence, Holy Spirit. So I feel like God was giving me a little bit of authority, like, hey, this might happen. You're good though. You got this.
Yeah. Like, so in the dream.
So I'm not even asleep yet. Like I'm asleep, but I'm not asleep at this point. I'm awake. I just can't move yet. Like I'm like in that half awake, half asleep.
But you were going into the sleep paralysis, not coming out.
Yes. This is before it happened.
Okay.
So the smoke.
So you drift in and you drift out when you have sleep paralysis. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I see this smoke and I'm not scared. I'm like, wow, it's kind of cool. I wonder if I'm about to dream about something cool because God shows me stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not exactly what happened. Then all of a sudden, I feel my body turning. I feel like I'm getting taken off the bed, even though I'm not moving. I'm in the exact same spot when I wake up. So I know I wasn't moving. I feel like I'm about to fall off the bed. I'm getting pulled out, right? Like felt like I was about to astral project like I used to all the time. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, and I can't move. But I'm awake enough to know what's happening.
So like trying to fight it,
Trying to fight it like I always do. I'm like, no.
When you try to fight it, are you trying to scream and you can't scream?
Can't talk, can't scream.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to scream. I'm just like trying to pull myself back in.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not taking me anywhere. And I'm talking to God too. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, get me out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you got to do something about this.
Yeah.
So I hear this lady's voice, and I felt like someone was standing behind me where I'm getting pulled out. And I hear this lady's voice. And she starts talking, but before she could even talk, it was like instinctively, I knew it would be bad. I don't know what she was going to say, but I felt it deep.
Felt that bad.
And I knew whatever she was going to say was going to affect me in some way. I couldn't listen to it. And I felt like I physically did something with my ears. And her voice turned into like this jumbled frequency. So I could still hear that, but her words, I could still hear that, but her words, nope.
Made any sense.
And she kept going and going and going. And I'm like, wow, how do I shut her off? But I was like, but at least I'm not hearing the words. You know what I'm saying?
Background noise.
It's like the power of your mind, even in sleep paralysis.
Wow. Yeah.
The power of your mind is that strong. And it's like, to know that is power. And we're like trained in this world to like not know these things.
Yeah.
To think we have no control over our lives or ourselves, but like we do. And that is like authority we were given.
Yeah.
It's actually so cool.
I think God wants us to discover the control that we do have over ourselves, because this is the thing. He gave us that control, right? So that's not saying like, oh, I don't need God. Like I've got all the control of everything. Okay, you can have control of yourself more and more the more you like make a conscious effort to do so. But realizing God gave you that control. You were born with the ability to control your mind, your thoughts, your words, and everything. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like take every thought captive. That goes back to that. Take every thought captive. Is this doing me any good to think about this?
Yeah.
What is this doing? That's kind of what we were talking about this morning. I'm like, I'm going to try not to think about it. I was like, because that's not going to do me any good.
Yeah.
There's nothing good that can come out of me stewing on that.
After I got done texting my mom these two little paragraphs where I just like venting, you know, and then I was like, and I put my phone away, started my like thing I had to do today with work. And the funny thing is like my mom read my mind, because then she like doesn't even respond to my venting. She knows I'm venting, right? And not at her, but she just lets me do that. But then her next text is like something completely different, some question, you know. She knows, let me vent, and then change the subject. And I had already changed the subject too, so when she texts me that, I'm like, oh, thank goodness she's not replying to my vent, because I'm already out of it.
right?
know what
You're
I mean?
like, I got over it, but you just needed to
she
say
knows
it.
me.
You
She
just
knows
needed
that.
to say
Yeah,
it though.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
needed to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it came down
Yeah,
to.
just let me get
Like
this
sometimes
out.
just getting it out.
Yeah.
Getting it out.
Yeah.
And then that goes with pulling it out.
Yeah. Getting it out and letting it stay out.
Yes. Okay, I
Yeah.
said it. Thank God I said it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been
Mm-hmm.
waiting to say that. It does feel good. And
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I need a quick vent.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I feel a lot better now. Thank God.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, now we
Mhm.
can move on, you
Yeah.
know, but like you do have to, because there's never going to be a point in your life where you don't have negative thoughts.
Yeah, there's always going to be things that are hard.
But the power comes in like learning how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go back to this frequency thing, the electromagnetic field angle. So, and I wrote it down here. Every thought you think produces real every thought you think produces real electromagnetic activity. And it's not a theory. This is scientific. Like this is measurable by science.
Yeah. I wonder how they went about proving that. I'd be interested to know that. Yeah.
Dig deep into that. So
I like science. So.
Heart Math Institute research. Your heart creates the strongest EM field in the body, 60 times stronger electrically and 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain.
Really?
Yeah. And
wow.
And I feel like your heart produces real, like, you know, when you cry, sometimes you feel it in your heart. You're like,
well, when I talk about my soul, it's like I feel it here. I
can
physically.
You're like a broken heart. Like that's why you feel that, right? So
wow. I would have guessed brain.
I would have too until I started digging deep. I would have thought that too. But then I'm like, a broken heart. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Magnetically than the brain. It radiates several feet out and can be detected by sensitive equipment. Did you know that?
No.
You can feel, or like the electromagnetic pulse that comes from your heart, you can feel up to 3 feet out of your body. It can be detected.
Wow.
From that far. This is true. Look it up.
That's not just the sound of the heartbeat being detected.
It's like the electrical current that comes from it.
That's amazing.
It is.
Amazing.
Like more proof of God to me. More proof of God.
Yeah.
Like it's so intentional, like creation, you know?
Yeah.
So with all of that being said, your thoughts, emotions, and attitudes directly shape the pattern and coherence of this powerful field. Anxiety, regret, worry, chaotic, incoherent, low frequency signal. That's what it creates. All of those feelings. A low frequency signal. All real. Peace, presence, gratitude equals smooth, ordered, coherent, high frequency signals. So the frequency.
What is the high?
Peace, presence, gratitude.
Really?
And that equals the frequency that is produced from these different things. It's real.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. You can tune into whatever you want to tune into. You just have to realize the control over that you actually have. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like the Bible talks about it, and then when you prove it with science,
the fact that science has been able to, I'm like, that's so cool.
It's just proving it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Felt that, but never known that was even detectable or
like little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I looked it up for a different time thing last week.
Yeah, something to do with me.
And then I had that dream before that. It's like bits and pieces. God gives you parts at a time to build on each other.
Yeah.
So tuning your frequency. When you live, this is how you do it. When you live fully in the now, plus stay in prayer, thanksgiving, like the Bible commands, you shift your heart and brain into a higher coherent frequency. This new station makes it much harder for old negative thoughts to hook back in.
Those are low frequencies.
It's true.
Cool. That is so awesome.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Then I put, but if you stay stuck in the old frequency, like dwelling on what happened in the past or stressing about the future.
Therefore, you're surrounding yourself by those low frequencies.
Those familiar frequency thought patterns lingering in the field around you get easily absorbed right back into your mind, like tuning a radio back to the same noisy station.
It's almost like having those, like that positive energy and thoughts almost like creates somewhat of a like force field around you that like doesn't let in those negative low frequencies as easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And think about this, right? Josh actually, because I was telling him about all this.
It actually vibes with Hinduism a lot.
I mean, there might be.
I'm not saying like, you know what? No, it's just interesting. I think there's parts of every religion that like
there's probably truth in each a little bit. You know, like if it's a total lie, no one will believe it.
I mean, well, and they obviously get something from
but also vibes with Christianity too.
Exactly.
It like proves
that's what I'm saying.
What Jesus said was true. You know, and science can back it up. You know, like you have so much control. So Josh was actually talking to me about this morning. when I was telling him this. He's like, think about, his brain,
Yeah.
think about an antenna on a car or for a radio. He's like, you don't realize it, but like, they're very like, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know how to explain it. They're like very unique, and they have a lot of technical things that go into it, like lots of wiring. It's not just an antenna. Like there's a lot that goes into an antenna.
The inner workings, yeah.
Yes. And you flip the station. How does it work? It picks up on radio waves and frequencies to tune to the station that you're looking for.
Radios have always like blown my mind. And when you think about how long that has been around, it's like, whoa. Right. Can you imagine when radios like first came out?
People were like,
blew people's minds.
They were like, the world's ending.
It still blows my mind.
Yeah. No, seriously though. So, but yeah, it's like
just
your brain,
people's minds up to like the possibility.
Your brain works in that same way. It's like a machine, right?
That's crazy.
You have the power to.
It's beyond a machine.
Yes. You have the power to turn the dial.
Yeah.
And change the station. I don't vibe with that frequency. I want a different one. Just like you on a radio.
And then affecting other people physically around you.
Yes.
By doing so. Either negatively or positively. You decide.
It's like there's a lot of people. Yes. And there's a lot of people who have been around me. They're like, I don't know. Your energy's different. Your light's different. And I'm like, I changed my dial. I didn't like that station. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like your body is like a very complex machine.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah.
We get old, we start breaking down, things quit working, just like on a car.
Yeah.
But like, it's
mind over body though.
Mind over body.
That's been proven so many
times. These are the most powerful things, your brain and your heart.
It's like we're so complicated, right? But at the same time, if you think about it, it is actually so simple to change so much about us and to change, therefore, how we affect others that actually change their inner, if you just can gain control of your thoughts and your emotions, you can affect something that is so insanely complex.
I think this world is, and our brains are so much more capable and able to change
so much
and to tap into different things.
Yeah.
And when you start learning these things, you're like, okay. All right. It's so much different than I originally thought. But now I realize, I can turn the dial and change the station.
Yeah.
And when you do that, now your frequency doesn't match what those thoughts used to, because that was a low frequency. And now you've got peace, Thanksgiving, and your frequency's higher. If the frequencies don't match, it's like a blocked signal.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Josh said cell phones work on radio waves also. Okay, yeah. I mean, true. Like how you go to different things on your phone. Isn't it wild?
Yeah. And what's wild is like some humans' brains were so able to wrap their brains around that so long ago.
It's mind-boggling.
That gotten us to where we are.
It goes to show they've known the truth. They just didn't necessarily want us to know the truth, because listen,
God put the truth in certain people at certain points in time.
Or Satan did. Let's create some stuff to start scaring people, distracting people. I don't know.
Is Satan he's not a creator like God's a creator? He's a creator at all?
He's a counterfeit creator, and they created fallen angel technology.
What does the Bible say about what Satan can create? Does it say? Do you know off the top of your head?
Only God creates something out of nothing.
Yes. Okay.
But Satan imitates and counterfeits.
Cool, good. I was going to have a hard time with that if the Bible said
instead
otherwise.
of creating, Satan copies and distorts and imitates.
Yeah.
So he can take something God has already made and make it into his version and use it for what he wants it to be used for.
Yeah, sometimes I think a lot of us almost give Satan
too much credit.
Almost too much
You're
credit.
Nothing. You're nothing.
I've actually given very little credit to my whole life. Maybe I should have given more. But yeah. I still don't know how I feel about it. Honest. I don't know. I know I believe in God, right? And I know nothing would change that.
Oh, you haven't seen enough bad stuff in your life, because I promise you Satan is real. Promise you. I can assure you.
Being.
Yeah, he was a real being. He was. And he is. I promise you, Holly.
He's just nowhere near God.
No, he
But
wants
it's
to.
like
He
I feel like
wants to
people
be
almost like
God.
talk about him like almost like he's almost on the same level, but not on the same level.
Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
wouldn't put
hey,
him even
it's
close
so
to the same
far,
level.
it's so
He's
much
a
lower that it's like
he's a wannabe.
I don't even really give it much thought. Because to me, it's like he's so much
But you
lower
know
than
what?
God that it's like I kind of just like
The thing is,
you aren't deserving of my thoughts.
but people, I mean, okay, I experienced a lot of really negative
Yeah,
spiritual things as a kid too. Me
yeah,
and my sisters did.
right, yeah.
Things
And
that
I know a
left
lot of people have. Yeah,
things that
sorry.
left no doubt,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, the thing is, when your parents are in bad things or
Yeah.
all the people around you are, you do have a fear of that stuff. You do, because it has affected you directly.
You're saying like fear of like those negative bad experiences, or you're saying are you saying
fear
Satan?
fear of demonic entities that you know for sure exist based on what you went through.
My childhood was so much different that as empathetic as I am and try to be, it's still hard for me to wrap my brain around it, but I'm always trying. Like I want to
No, I know.
understand, you know?
I know. And
Yeah.
and listen,
But I ask questions
you don't
because I
have
want
to
to
be scared.
understand,
You
you
don't,
know?
because you have authority in
Yeah.
God, and you keep your
Yeah.
house, you keep yourself
Right.
covered, you keep your
Yeah.
family covered, you're
I ain't
good.
worried.
Okay. So
Boom.
so the
Long
other
tangent.
part of that I wanted to talk about is that with all of this, I also think, like, with the being able to control your thoughts
Okay.
and tuning into different atmosphere, wavelengths, frequencies, like putting out the bad ones and taking the good ones
Mm-hmm.
and only
Mm-hmm.
keeping the positivity, right?
Yeah.
I also think
Or
there's
turning it to positivity, like you were saying earlier. You can use things,
Lainey
right?
says drinking a Red Bull at 11:15 is crazy work.
I actually just started drinking them again. I used to drink them all the time, and like now I'm like I already know like God don't want me to drink. I shouldn't be drinking that just because like later I'm gonna get headaches and I don't like things having that effect on me. But yeah, that's fun.
Right. Well, honestly, Holly doesn't even need that to stay awake.
No,
She's
I like the taste of it.
yeah. I'm like, probably calms her down.
And I can't drink sodas, so
Right. Okay, so the other part of the like negative thoughts that I think circle around you in the
uh-huh.
atmosphere, because thoughts have weight and they exist forever.
Yeah,
I also think that I mean, I know, because the Bible tells
yeah,
us we
yeah.
wrestle not against flesh and blood, like I was
Uh-huh,
saying
uh-huh.
earlier, that there are familiar spirits
Mm-hmm.
that want to keep you. And I know this because when I got close to God, I experienced all these demonic attacks, demonic dreams
Mm-hmm.
nightly, terrible, like to the point where I
Wow.
was
Yeah,
not wanting to go to sleep, right?
yeah.
When I was getting close to God, these attacks amplified. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start trying to get close to God, you are being targeted worse. And there are spirits that watch
Yeah.
you.
My little brothers told me that. Yeah.
There are spirits that watch you from when you're a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
boy,
Mm-hmm.
throughout your life, right?
Yeah.
They've seen all the struggles you went through.
Yeah.
They've seen all the bad things you went through.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, it's like a little devil on your shoulder and a little angel on your
Uh-huh.
shoulder, if you can envision that. Whispering bad things, whispering good things.
Yeah.
And that familiar spirit, even though you can't physically hear it, it is
Mm-hmm.
essentially whispering in your ear. And
Yeah.
it is putting thoughts back into your head, because if you feel that way and you're constantly dwelling on these negative thoughts, these negative emotions, these negative things that happen to you,
Mm-hmm.
then that wall between you and God goes up. You won't be able to hear him the same way.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
drowning out God's voice with these thoughts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people, when they constantly feel this way, they have a complete disconnection from God because they feel unworthy. They feel like God doesn't want to hear from them. And
Yeah.
that's the stuff that familiar spirits will feed you. And I 1,000,000% believe in that. And I
Yeah.
think you can fight that too. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
drown them out. Like that voice I heard during my sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I decided she wasn't going to say whatever she was
Yeah.
going to say, because it was going to be
Not giving
bad.
it any.
It was
Yeah.
going to be bad, and I knew it.
Yeah.
So I drowned it out. And
Mm-hmm.
you can do that with a familiar spirit. Sometimes these thoughts are your own that just circle around you.
Mm-hmm.
You can tune that out.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
living in this present moment will change your entire existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's already making me think a lot about a lot.
right.
Like, like, yeah.
It's like, you did this. Do you remember that? You weren't good enough.
Yeah.
It's like that
Mine's
constant.
more concerning myself with things going on I have no control over and like
Yeah. It's like,
wanting fairness and justice and,
It's
over things I can't
this is Satan's
control.
world. It will
Yeah.
never like be completely fair or just or
Yeah.
right. It
Right.
just won't.
Yeah.
God's love is amazing. I agree. It's the most amazing thing that anyone could ever
What did they
experience.
say? Sorry.
God's love is amazing.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
the most amazing thing that you could ever experience in your entire
Mm-hmm.
existence. And I would never, ever, ever want to live one more day of my life without it. And that's why I like want to get on here and talk about it.
Yeah.
Like that's my whole
Yeah.
reason for doing what I do.
Yeah.
And that's why I started making videos. I always knew I was good at talking to people. I was good at
Mm-hmm.
connecting with people.
Yeah, you
And it
are.
was like I never felt, and thank you. I never felt like I knew why I had that and I couldn't place it, right? And then I got close with God and I was like, I'm supposed to like help people come
Yeah.
to God. And I just knew it. I felt it. It was like that deep inner knowing. And it was so uncomfortable and weird at first, but like I want people to know like what they can have.
Yeah.
And it's so big and it's so life changing. And he's still teaching me all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just learned that like this life high that people have always talked
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
is a real thing. I felt
Yeah.
it living in the now. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, you just keep teaching me more things, you
Right.
know? And that's why I'm cool, like with just not knowing everything, not
Yeah.
understanding
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, because it's like that was something that was so beyond me.
Yep.
So beyond me that like when Christians used to say it, I was like, yeah, Jesus is great for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Don't
I'm like, they actually meant it though.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
meant
Yeah.
what they said. It
It's
was
like you can't
real.
comprehend until yeah.
And
But you're able, I was going to add to like what you just said there. Like you're able to connect to people on such a tough level that like people like me never connect to such a large audience of
you could.
people. Well, no, because like I don't have like those struggles and those hardships and those things that you lived through as a child where you're able to really connect and truly understand. And like people that like they need that. They need to like hear from somebody who like kind of gets it in the way they get it. Because it's different, right?
I
And
think
like
I think that's why I went through everything that I
yeah,
went through, Holly. And that's why I'm so
course.
like I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I never thought if you would have said 2 years ago that I would be thankful for everything I've gone through, I would have thought you were
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, no, my life has not been fair. Like
Wow, yeah.
I'm like, and I'm growing, but it's like now I'm like, actually, God, thank you. I actually tell him thank you
Yeah.
for those things now.
Yeah.
Thank you that I went through what I went through. Thank you
Mm.
because it made me who I am now, and I just feel
Yeah.
so strong.
Like
And
it feels wrong to say. I hate to hesitate to say it, but I'm almost like I'm not I'm like in a way I'm like thankful you went through it because it made the person who you are, who is the stepmother that you are to my son,
oh,
that you're able to give him
you.
things that maybe I even can't, and like if you hadn't experienced those things, you wouldn't be the Emily that you are today. And I like the Emily you are today. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so like, so in a way, I'm like, I hate to even say that, but thankful
No,
because of the
it's fine because I know I am
the
too.
fruits of it.
I think you just
Yeah.
see it. Like, well, you also saw
Yeah.
me when I was not out of it yet.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw the me before God, and I'm like, it's also to me, it's like the people around me saw it and they wondered, like, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
And it's like I am glad for all of it. Like
Yeah.
every struggle, every pain. I miss my sister. Right? I say
Yeah.
that's probably the worst pain, and
Yeah.
that is the one thing that I talk about from my past that I might still tear up about
Of course.
often.
Yeah.
Just her because and it's not because I know I won't see her again. It's not that I'm like mourning, but because I know I'm going to be with her again. We're eternal. We're
Right,
forever.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
a shell. I just really miss her. Right? So that makes me sad, and
yeah.
that's where it's at. So that's like the one thing. But other than that, like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
love you,
right,
God.
yeah.
Thank you. Like,
This is a
thank
person
you
were
for
supposed to
showing me
become.
the purpose in my pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was the
Yeah.
coolest part.
And you
There
can
was
relate
a
to so many
purpose.
more people because of it.
And yeah, maybe
It's
that's
not just to make you the person that you are now and that person's awesome. So thankful for that. No, it's because now you can affect in a positive way so many people who I'd venture to say like really need it because like they've probably been through some really low times, understandably so. I think it's almost even more important that there's people like you who can like be that person, even if it's just on like whatever social media thing or whatever. It's like if they connect to it and it helps them, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's purpose in everybody's pain.
Yeah.
And each person has a purpose. And I think that's my biggest thing. I'm just like, I just want everyone to know, like, there's a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be TikTok or Instagram or
Yeah,
whatever, but like, if you find God, you'll find your purpose
Mm-hmm,
no matter what you went through, no matter
He'll show you
no matter what you've
if you let
done,
him.
no
He'll show
matter
you.
how far
Yeah.
you've fallen,
Mm-hmm.
no matter who your parents are, or
Yeah.
none of it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you have God, you have everything.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
do. And it's like, I never thought I would like not care about any of that stuff anymore, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And you don't have to have like some dramatic, like traumatic experience to your testimony to make it like important at the same time, right? Like there's gonna, no matter what your story is, like there's gonna be somebody out there that can relate to it
in some
in some way,
form.
shape, or form. Like everybody's story can affect other people's story in a positive way.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
yours too. Let's like, you're like, I grew up in a household where they loved Jesus.
And I still struggle.
And you struggled
yeah.
until you got to a certain point. And to me, it's like, that's a testimony within itself. I couldn't believe it when it was out of nowhere. It made no sense. And I'm like,
out of nowhere. Yeah.
I'm like, but God,
mm-hmm.
but God,
it was supposed to be at that time.
Seriously.
For that reason. Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. And he's just so good. He's
Yeah.
so incredibly
For sure.
good. Someone says, fire in the mind is what I call it. Fourth state of consciousness. Literally, your mind is so powerful.
Yeah.
So incredibly powerful. Like I've said before, you can make yourself think anything.
Yeah.
Or
I know some people think your thoughts could even like heal cells.
Maybe, I don't know.
You know, like
I don't
people
know.
that
I know.
have said that
I know
about, like,
when you
stuff.
speak to water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's true.
Trees too, you know, plants and stuff.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
they say like that. Like it's been proven that like if you like speak positivity to it, like it grows more faster.
Really?
Like, that's the only difference between it and that or whatever. Like they think, that it's like it reacts to that.
Weird. I need to look into that. When you speak to water and you put it under a microscope, you can see like when you say ugly things like you're ugly, you're worthless, whatever.
Like negativity.
It's like chaotic and ugly, all the molecules.
Really?
Yes. This is so weird,
and
but
it's
so
like
true.
calmed when you speak positivity.
I'm not even kidding you. When you speak positive to it, it like makes like beautiful crystal shapes. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
What
That's
you
so
say
cool.
and what you think matters so
God's
much.
so big.
God is so big and so cool.
That's why I can't box him, man. It's so big. Like that ain't in the Bible.
No,
it doesn't say that we can like speak positivity and
but you can see it scientifically.
And, like, but it is God. We know it's God.
Your words. What is the power of your tongue has the power to? I don't know. We should look that up.
Yeah, it's like and life.
Yes.
Are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
Yes, that's
Proverbs
the one.
18:21.
That's a good one.
See, this is why I love like Claude and like AI. Like all I put in was, what is the verse about the power of your tongue? It's like boom, and then it gives me other ones that are similar. Like it's cool.
Someone says, I had a plant that was dying. I laid hands and prayed over it, and the plant lived. That's pretty cool, and I believe it. I believe it.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it 100,000,000%.
And some people might even say like that could be like witchcraft or something. It's like, I think we mistake things that are God for like, and we fear them because we don't know them and we haven't been told it, and so we give it this other power that's actually God. You know what I mean? Like
all the glory, all the glory in the world is God, and all good things are from God.
Mm-hmm,
all good things are from God.
Yeah.
Again, that goes back to realizing that this is Satan's world, and so anything that's good is from him, and that's your confirmation that he's doing things in your life and through you and for you, and the people he puts in your life. Anything good comes from him. Bottom line, and if it's not good to start, he can make it good.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't know where you're going with that, but you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
He can make all things good. Okay, so now we were talking about the importance of your thoughts, controlling them, living in the present. And I had one thing I wanted to share, or a couple things I wanted to share about this. All of this comes from, right? All of these things and learning how to control it comes from your faith in God. Faith is so incredibly important. And before the podcast, I really decided I was going to be present. Usually before I have the podcast, when I pray, I'm like, God, give me the words, help me, like
Right.
blah
Yeah.
blah blah
You
blah.
said
Like,
that.
but
Yeah.
I'm like real stressed out and worked up about the podcast because I'm like amped up
Uh-huh.
and like not sure how I'm gonna word things, not sure about any of it.
Yeah.
And I lived in the moment, spent some time with God, and He took me to Matthew 9.
Yeah. What is it? I'm
Okay,
excited.
so I asked Him what I should pray about. I asked Him
Mm-hmm.
what I should talk about.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of people on my, and I think this is like God too.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people lately on like the platforms I've watched
Yeah.
have always said to have a real relationship with God, you don't just pray, right? You
Uh-huh.
don't just ask for things. How do you have a relationship with other people? Well, you ask them questions about themselves.
Yeah.
You
Get to know each other.
get to
Kind
know
of.
each other,
Yeah. You
right?
let them know you.
So it's like you
Yeah.
ask God questions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. What do I ask you? What's your favorite color?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I thought about that
I
way. I
don't
love
really know
that
how to do
show.
this, God. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to do it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what do I ask you? Like maybe that's where we can
I think
start.
show me who, show me
Show
what
me
you
who,
are.
but He
Show
does
me
all the
this.
time. He shows me who He is
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Okay. Yeah.
what do I ask you, God? Okay. So, let me make sure this is right where I'm supposed to
What was
be.
it, Matthew? What?
So just Matthew 9, and then
Okay.
there's like specific verses
Okay.
in
Okay. Go
here.
ahead. I just want to write it down. Okay.
Hold on. There's this explicit, like very, hold on. Where is that? One exact part I wanted to talk about first before I moved on to the rest of Matthew 9. But this is, um, okay. I said, what do I pray about? What do I talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you want from
Guide me.
What do you
Yeah.
want from me?
Yeah.
So this is Matthew 9:37 to 38. And it clicked before this, but this is where I was like, that's what I'm supposed to pray about.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. So then He said to His disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. As the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into His harvest field. So I'm thinking, what does that mean? What does that mean? But I kept stewing on that exact part. So I ended up reading and reading and reading, and I was like, this is where it's at. Jesus was right there with the crowds. He wasn't like scrolling or planning next week. He was present in that exact moment, and He looked up and He saw like people. Hold on, where did I write? Oh, the people that were being harassed, like helpless, just in a terrible position. And like, I think He said like sheep without a shepherd was the exact wording. And His heart was moved in that moment. So the harvest isn't some future event. I mean, it is actually in the end.
Yeah.
But in this specific scenario, it's like the people around you right now, your neighbors who are struggling, the people you know of who are struggling, and the co-workers you have, like who seem fine, but you know they're not, right? All this stuff.
Could be the cashier at the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah.
They haven't figured it out yet. They haven't figured out how to like live in the now, right? And maybe they haven't felt the true love of God. He's just confirming to me what more He wants from me. So living in the present moments lets you actually see the plentiful harvest that Jesus saw. The harvest, like the people, the workers. It's like the workers are few. So in the other version of this exact verse, it's like ask, what is that? What it was? I can't think of the exact. It's like ask about the harvest. Ask about the harvest. I can't find the exact wording, but it's like, that's what God wants me to pray about. And the harvest is like, Lord of the harvest, but few workers. He's asking people to pray that more workers, more people come to Jesus and talk about Him and tell their friends, tell their family. That's what I'm supposed to pray about. And I'm supposed to tell people about it. And I'm like, that was my epiphany. It's something you do today and every day. Like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing in this life. Praying for people to speak up against evil, to expose darkness, and to love Jesus and live like
Jesus
Him.
Like example.
That's my job
for us. Yeah.
So that was like an epiphany for me, because I literally asked, "Where do you want me?" And that was like
it.
The first thing that stood out. Like the rest of it is
probably
great.
Gonna speak to a lot of people.
Yeah. So it's like, ask God what He wants you to do.
Yeah.
What you pray about.
Yeah.
And I think He'll give you an answer. For me, it confirms what I already kind of knew. Like that was
that
the
confirmation.
calling I knew that I had on my life and who I am, you know?
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back to this other part, faith.
Mm-hmm.
So having faith that what Jesus said about the control on your mind
Mm-hmm.
and how living in the present moment is the most important part.
Yeah.
Believing that what he said is true is so important. And with faith, you do believe that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't always see something.
Mm-hmm.
And some people feel like they have to see something to believe it true. But faith is believing without actually seeing, right?
Yeah.
So there was this lady in Matthew 9.
Mm-hmm.
She was a bleeding woman. She had a lot of bleeding issues that for 12 years straight that like would not go away. And in one desperate moment, she reached out and touched Jesus's cloak in the crowd because she felt like if she just could touch it,
something just told her,
if she could just touch him, that she could be healed, right?
Yeah. Like she felt it. Yeah.
So the woman couldn't walk up and hug Jesus. Like she couldn't do that, but she couldn't like hang out with him, right? She just wanted to touch him.
Yeah.
Because she knew that if she could just touch him, be in his presence some way, that she could be healed. And it did heal her. But Jesus says
she had faith.
Jesus says something really important though, too. Yeah. She had faith.
Yeah.
That's what healed her. And Jesus says that.
When God puts things on you, like it's important that you follow.
Right.
Even if it doesn't make sense at the moment.
So yeah, all she had in that moment was like this deep, desperate inner knowing.
Yeah.
Inner knowing that if I can just get close enough to him to touch just the edge of his cloak, I'll be made whole.
Yeah.
So we can't physically grab the hem of Jesus, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's not something we can do, but we can reach out in the exact same way she did. And that was the whole point of that story.
And that following. Yeah.
Like we can't grab his cloak because he's, he's not here on earth anymore, but we can reach out and grab him.
Yeah.
His hand's already there.
Yeah.
Waiting for you just grab it back.
Yeah.
And that like Matthew 9 is full of that. Like it's like full of his different miracles and healings. And every time he says, your faith healed you.
Yeah.
Because you had faith.
Right.
You were healed.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's not just speaking the positive words and all that. It's believing them. You can speak positive words all day. Like you believe it. That's when it really changes. That's when it really has an effect.
Yep. Yeah.
Believing
what Jesus said is true. Your faith matters.
Yeah.
And the Bible talks about it over and over again. You believe. If you believe something enough and you believe him, like in him, if you believe his words enough, it'll be done for you.
Yeah.
That is stressed repetitively.
He's telling us the power that we have.
Don't.
With our mind and our
with him though too. It's I'll do it for you but you believe in me.
It's him.
Believe
in
through
us. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. He's like, you have power. You have authority.
I'm in there. Just reach out and use it
and believe it.
Yeah.
There was Doubting Thomas. He was one of the disciples. That's what people call him, Doubting Thomas, because he said, "Well, I won't believe he resurrected until I stick my fingers or touch the holes in his hand in his feet
to know it's him.
And see it." And Jesus says, he's like, what is it? It's like believing. It's one. You believe because you have seen.
Yes.
But real faith comes from those who believe and have not seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that so wild? It's just telling you, like, believe it and it'll happen for you. And I've seen it in my real life. I decided at some point, I'm just going to believe it. I'm going to believe God. Yeah. Before I even knew those verses, I'm just going to believe God. I'm just going to believe it because that's all I have left.
Yeah. I'm going to trust.
And when I did,
over my eyes, my ears, my nose, my mouth, like, you know what I mean? Like that sense that he put here.
Yep.
So like
1,000,000%. And that's exactly what it was. Like I believed it. And that's when my life changed.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. You're like, okay, that's it. So ways you can do this. Spend time with God in the moment. Don't be like me, how I've always been. I'm always on the go, always got something to do. I'm like a fast prayer. Amen. I love you, blah, 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 blah. Amen.
Yeah.
No. When you talk to God, you live right in that moment.
Yeah. Maybe start off small. Like maybe set an alarm on your phone, like every Monday at whatever time, right? Where it goes off and it reminds you, oh, I'm supposed to be like spending time.
Or
time
read,
alone,
even just
whatever,
read your Bible for a little bit. If that helps you
do
connect.
The
And
more that you won't need that reminder anymore. You'll want it. You'll be thinking about it.
It won't happen right away, but like with persistence and believing it's going to happen.
But be intentional about making that real effort and putting a check in place to remind you, because we all get busy, right? Like at first you're going to need some reminders maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I did that actually. Actually, that
Mhm.
is, but I did it nightly because when
Mine would have to be
I
yeah.
am gung ho when I decide to
would
do
have to be
something.
yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
am.
And maybe it's for
I'm
like a
doing this,
specific time,
but you
but it's
also
like
can't rush it.
after I brush my teeth or whatever.
You also can't rush it,
Right.
and that's what I was trying to do. I'm
Because
like,
11 o'clock's not always going to work for you or whatever,
right.
you know?
Well,
But,
I was doing it like after the kids went to bed. I was doing it for like
Mhm.
an hour and a half every night.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you gonna talk to me tonight? You know what I'm saying? But that's not how God works
Right.
either, right? His time is what it is. He doesn't
Mhm.
work on our time. He works on his time.
Mhm.
But anyway, I was doing it every night for a while, just 2 hours. And I think that was really important for my growth.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
humbled me because it was
Mhm.
like, you can't force this.
Mhm.
You have some more growing to do, some more things to learn, and you need to be in a specific place. And there's
Yeah.
some other things you need to learn first before you get to this point.
Yep.
But be patient and persistent. And I was, and
Mhm.
it all like
I
lined
get that
out,
now.
right?
Yeah, you know I get that right now because
Yep.
I'm in that same, yeah.
Right. You're like, man. And I remember you
And I'm
feel
seeing the
you
fruits
feel
of it.
you
Yeah.
feel almost like you're in a
It's
twilight
crazy.
zone a little bit when you
Yeah.
first realize you're like, everything they said was the truth. Like I always believed in God, but like I didn't understand what they were talking about when they would say this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
Like I
so
didn't
true and
understand
so
their emotion
real.
behind some things. And like, I sometimes wondered if like the emotion it was fake. I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe it was for some people, but I see like some people, I'm like, okay, now I get it. Now
Right.
now I get it.
You're like,
I have an aunt that is like always like, well, actually, I've got a few aunts that are this way, but like, it's just like always like, I know they believe in God, and like they're very like they'll talk about God a lot, about anything will kind of like relate back to God with them, and it's like almost so much so that you might think it was fake, but like I know these women, and it's like no, that's through and through for them, like they with their whole heart and soul, none of that is fake. Like I know them, and like now it's like I get why everything went back for them, like it. Yeah.
What do you mean? Went back
To like everything would go back to Jesus. Like somehow,
Oh,
like, no
that's
matter
how
what
I
you were
am
talking
too.
about, it would go back to Jesus. I'm like, oh my gosh, But at the same time,
It does.
with other people, actually, I would have been like, oh my gosh. But with them, it's like, it would almost like kind of make me giggle because I'm like,
But
I
it
know
does.
it's genuine.
But it
how
does.
does everything go back? And like now I get it.
It's
know?
wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
And you don't unknow it.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest part. And
You'll
you're
get it
like,
when you're
you're like, I
supposed to get
kind of
it.
can't believe
Just
they
keep
were
yourself
right
open.
this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You thought they were a little woo woo, but you loved them.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
dang.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's actually really wild. So like we were saying, spend some time in your Bible, spend some time in the Word, or just talking to God, just
Mhm.
time where you can be present with Him and be like in a moment like where you don't have other things clouding your memory or your brain and your thoughts. Because
Yeah.
if you are, you can't hear Him in the same way.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is when I'm just learning this myself, guys. I didn't
Yeah.
realize I wasn't being present until now, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
totally a
New,
new thing
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So when you're in the middle of a hard day, traffic's crazy, your husband's making you mad, your wife did something to you, your kids got in trouble at school, you're feeling overwhelmed, just say, Lord, like I'm reaching you, like help
Yeah.
me here. And when you ask for help, I know it's not always easy to just be present and take these thoughts out, but when you ask for help, it will come eventually in His time. That's where I'm at now.
Like that guy said on that video, like you've got to be ready to listen though.
You
because
do,
you'll-
you
you'll
do,
miss
you
his
do.
answers,
And it's not even, it's like, even if you feel like you're ready, but you don't know how to turn everything off, this is all like things that take practice. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just now to a point to where I can do that.
Yeah, like just starting. Like
I didn't know I could do that.
I
Like,
think in like a few months you're gonna be like, wow, I thought that was a lot then. Now it's even
well,
like
he
it
always
just
does that to me.
opens
He
and
always
opens and
blows my,
opens.
he always
Yeah,
blows
yeah.
my mind, like
Mhm.
constantly. But
Yeah.
faith, that's where it lies.
Yeah.
Faith, believing that
Mhm.
He can help you change and then changing because of
Yeah.
it. That's the cool part. That's how big
Yeah.
our God is. And if He can do it with someone like me, like I've said,
Yeah.
you have a better or just as good of a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
you got to start undoing all the wiring you've made for yourself and then
Mhm.
pulling them out and rewiring.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very like I said, I have to like physically imagine things sometimes, and that's how I imagine things, like
Mhm.
different connections, and then pulling them out,
Yeah.
cleaning them off,
Yeah.
plugging them back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Rewiring, new
For
wires
sure.
even.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna read this last part. Her healing happened at that moment because of her faith. Jesus didn't say, your medical history healed you. He
Mhm.
said, your faith has healed you.
Mhm.
That's where it lies. That's all I got for that.
The power of that.
But that's what Jesus gave me today when I was present in the moment.
That's awesome.
He not only he answered 2 things at once. Those are the 2 things I was praying about.
Yeah.
He confirmed like what I already felt. He's like,
Mhm.
you're doing what you're doing. Like you're supposed to be praying for other people and bringing more people to God
Here's your
and
next
praying
step.
that there's fruits from what you're doing and you're bringing more people to work in the harvest.
Mhm.
That's what it is. More workers. That's what I've always felt, you know?
Mhm.
And it was confirmation. And then living in the now, Jesus always lived in the now. And I realized that, you know, a while back, but like reading Matthew 9, I'm like, he just kind of went with it. Like the whole time he was like this upbeat, positive guy who spread nothing but love, knowing what his ending was.
Mhm.
He was never focused on what was coming,
Mhm.
even though he knew.
Yeah.
He was living in the now and doing what he needed to do right in that moment.
Yeah. Not trying to prevent it or stop it or
Nope.
anything.
Nope.
Yeah. Surrendering.
And surrendering.
Yeah.
And faith.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Do you want to pray?
all right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for such a great podcast, God. And thank you for all the lessons that we learned. Thank you for helping me and Holly and helping us to adjust our heart postures, God, because we all need to learn and grow. God, I just ask that everyone who listened, they took something really important out of this and they learned to like have faith even as small as a mustard seed. And that mustard seed would continue to grow, God, and that they would just believe what you say is true and that they learn to live in the present moment, God. I ask that you wrap each of them with your love and grace this week and just be with them and touch them and let them learn to hear you, God. We thank you and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. It was great, like always. And
Record, I think.
yeah, that was
I
a
can't
record.
believe how long we can
We
talk.
just get longer and longer. All right, we love you guys. And we will see you next time. God bless. Thanks for joining and thanks for all your comments and participation. And lessons and yeah, we love learning and growing with all of you.
Burn away the idols, leave nothing but cries. If it breaks what isn't you, let it break. If it shakes what isn't true, let it shake.